This is what happens to single-use plastics all over the world. Many items end up in waterways and eventually the sea. Iraq's holy sites are no exception. Millions of pilgrims leave behind tons of trash in KARBALA. A lot of it gets dumped on the streets, where an army of workers is employed to clean it all up. For the municipality, it's a major challenge.
KARBALA receives 50 million visitors every year, about 2 million pilgrims for anniversaries and the rest for weekly gatherings. It's a challenge for the small city, which doesn't have enough roads and services. We need the help from citizens and pilgrims. Plastic is more than 50% of the waste. We have 200 acres allocated for a project to better manage dumping trash, but we await investment.
There are fewer visitors due to the pandemic, but garbage continues to mount, and this is where it all goes. The stench is unbearable, and it goes on for miles. In the absence of recycling facilities, garbage collectors sift through it with their hands. They sell to a number of factories which reuse the nylon and plastic. About 100 kilos sells for just over $15. It can take up to 3 days to collect that amount.
I collect plastic bottles, nylon and cardboard. Only during the pilgrimage days, I collected 100 kilos a day. I have 2 kids and live in a slum. We start working from 6 a.m. and sometimes till 11 p.m. This is our situation. Children and youth working here. No one cares about our suffering.
And yet tons of plastic trash still floats in the canals and waterways of Iraq. What appears to be solid ground is water from the Euphrates River covered in plastic. Environmentalists believe if the clergy can play its role to persuade residents as well as visitors to adopt greener habits, it could create a major impact. Because people never get to see what happens to their trash, they generally don't care. Zahra comes to the holy sites a few times a year. She says local population and wildlife is at risk if pilgrims don't change their habits.
I'm here to raise awareness about the excess use of plastic here. I would request every pilgrim to bring in their own reusable bottles, their cutlery sets and their reusable cups so that we avoid using all kinds of plastic, styrofoam or paper cups. A lot needs to be done here in Iraq. We need to also provide alternate solutions and educate the local communities first, and then it's our responsibilities as visitors who are coming in from more than 40 countries.
Hundreds of deaths have been attributed to waterborne diseases and pollution in war-torn Iraq. And the people who come to the country to pay homage might be putting its future at stake unless millions of them reduce using their billions of pieces of plastic. Osama bin Javed, Al Jazeera, KARBALA.